Declaration, initialization, and we have explored various types of so basically in variables we have two types of variables. That again, anyhow, already I have covered this thing with the Mallikarjun and Vinod. So as we are exploring the next things from the variable concept, I'll just go with a glance and then we will proceed. Just it will be a recall for the moment. Okay. So first thing is variables, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So basically we have two types of variables. One as primitive variables, and next one is reference.
We can call it as non-primitive variables.
Exactly. So this also is acceptable. Non-primitive. We can call it as non-primitive also. Reference variables. Okay. And we can call it as user-defined variables also.
Okay.
Sorry, this is again to our understanding. That's it. But technical definition is non-primitive or reference also. Okay, primitive. Anyhow, I'm going to define one variable int a is equal to 10. Okay, so this is one. So any reference example for reference is string. This is the most confusing thing. String name is equal to some name I'm going to give. Okay, why we are going to call reference with the definition, it will be automatically clear. So what JVM is going to do whenever JVM finds this particular instruction, okay, this particular instruction, JVM what is going to do? It is going to allocate some memory for this container, this variable. Okay.
Yes.
So how much memory it is going to allocate? So that always depends on the data type that you are using. So while exploring the data types, we came to know that for every data type, JVM is going to provide how much memory. So that for int, actually it is going to provide 4 bytes of memory.
4 bytes. Yeah.
4 bytes of memory. So for a variable, JVM has allocated 4 bytes of memory in stack. It can be inside stack memory, it can be inside main memory, or it can be inside heap memory. So when we explore the memory topic, memory management concept in Java, so there we will explore. For now, let us understand for a 4 bytes of memory is allocated. And the value, the literal that we are going to store, so that will be directly stored inside the memory allocated. So 4 bytes allocated, so 10 value will be stored here only. Okay, this is the nature of processing by JVM towards a primitive variables. Next, when it comes to reference variable, okay, string is a reference variable. For name variable also, JVM is going to allocate some memory for this variable. Okay, how much memory it is going to allocate? So the default for every reference variable, not only name, for any reference variable, so string, for any reference variable, JVM is going to allocate 8 bytes of memory. Okay, any example for other reference variable? If suppose I am defining a if suppose I am defining a reference for student object, STUD, student ST is equal to new student, right? Student. So for this st is a variable, right? For this
Yes.
st variable, JVM, how much memory it is going to allocate for this?
It depends on number of objects, number of times we
Number
call.
of means whatever the variable. So what this object is containing, depending on that, the properties.
Yes.
Whatever the properties it is containing, depending on that, memory will be allocated, you are saying, right? So JVM, so here in this variable, so this entire variable, there are two parts. This is one part and this is one more part. Okay. What this part is called as declaration, correct?
Yes.
What this part is called as initialization, correct?
Yes.
So for declaration, JVM is going to do certain things. For initialization, JVM is going to do certain things. Okay, now I am speaking about the left side part. When JVM is processing this left side part of this entire variable declaration and initialization, for this st variable, JVM by default going to allocate only 8 bytes of memory. Only 8 bytes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is towards this. Okay, now we come to this string. So for this name variable, okay, JVM allocated 8 bytes. Now the value that is stored inside this variable is how much? What is the value? Sidhu, it has stored. Okay, it has to store here only. Okay, so 5 characters are there, right? 5 characters.
Yeah.
So all these 5 characters, whether all these 5 characters can we store inside this 8 bytes of memory?
Yes.
We don't know. Is it possible? Okay, let us see. Okay, so instead of this, just can I initialize a variable like Sidhu is a Java trainer? Okay,
Yeah.
can I declare a variable like this or not? Instead of this only string, can I assign this string to this variable now? Any
Yeah,
string variable, this string variable,
we can
yeah,
declare.
any paragraph,
Yeah,
entire paragraph
we can
also you
declare.
can store, right, inside this variable. Not only this. So if suppose 5 characters, if I am able to store, then what about if this entire, if suppose entire text is of some 1 KB means 1 KB of value, I cannot store inside 8 bytes of memory, right?
Yes.
For
Correct.
this purpose, what JVM is going to do is, okay, so here 8 bytes of memory is allocated for this name variable. Inside this, the value that you are storing, this is called as value. This is called as value or literal. So this value will not be directly stored into the allocated memory for this variable. So what JVM is going to do is, it is going to create an object inside heap memory. One object it is going to create. Inside this object, it is going to store this value. And it is going to store in some memory address. So that memory address will be like, okay, 91235. Okay, some memory address. What it is going to do is, this memory address it is going to store here 91235. Okay. So what happened? Actually, this value is nothing but this object. This object is created somewhere inside the heap memory, and its address, always its address will be only 8 bytes of address. So that address is stored inside this. So what we understood, in case of reference variable, the reference of the value, we are going to say, the reference of the value or the reference of the object is stored inside the allocated memory for the variable. That's why these are called as reference variables. Fine.
Okay.
Now the same scenario, but this is related to the reference variable. So JVM process reference variables in this way, so that whatever we discussed here. Okay, this is the process that is done by JVM for the reference variable. And what about this here? What happened? This is in case of primitive. What happens? The value that you are storing will be directly assigned to the allocated memory for the variable only. Okay, this is the difference between primitive and the reference. Okay, now
Okay.
this we discussed about the string. String, most people confuse that it is also a primitive provided by the JVM only, or its language vendor only, but actually it is a reference provided by the language vendor only, but the language vendor libraries, inside the libraries developed by the programmers are provided, but this is by default, it will come with the JVM only. So in case of student ST, because we don't know that, okay, 8 bytes, anyhow JVM is going to allocate 8 bytes of memory for this variable. We don't know what will be the size of this student object, right? Size of the student object. It can be 1 byte, it can be 1 KB, it can be 1 MB. So any size we can define depending on the properties that we are going to initialize, that we are going to associate with the student object.
Yes.
So that's why what JVM is going to do is this object, it is going to create somewhere inside the heap memory. Okay, it is going to create student object. Student object. And when we explore the OOPS concept, no, so what exactly going to happen? This is actually constructor. When the constructor is called, what properties will be initialized, which instance, okay, where the value will be allocated, so how the memory address is allocated for this, where it is going to create, that everything we will explore. For now, we will understand that whenever the new object is created, it is going to create somewhere in the heap memory with some address, okay, 52361, okay, something address. So that actually address format is string representation of two string representation of any object address is different. It will come like student at the rate some hexadecimal value that we will see later. For now, okay, what will happen is it is going to store this 52361. So what it is going to 52361, okay, 52361 it is going to understood. So what we understood, so in case of reference object, in case of reference, the memory allocated for the variable, so inside the memory allocated for the variable, actually the object is directly not stored, the value is not stored, the object address is stored. That is what the thing is. So reference. So when we want to explore some differences between primitive and reference are, primitive variables are the variables which we define using primitive data types. Reference variables are the variables which we define with reference data types. So in case of primitive, the value will be directly stored inside the memory allocated for the variable, and the memory allocation for this variable depends on the data type, default data type, whatever, so depending on that. And in case of reference, the value in reference variable is stored somewhere in the heap memory and its address is stored into the allocated memory for the variable, right? And what happens, actually its address is stored, and always for any reference variable 8 bytes of memory is allocated for the from the JVM. And object, how much memory allocated, it depends on the what is the size of the object. This is the main understanding. Any doubts in this?
No, sir. Right now I don't have.
Okay, then we will go with the practical, right? Right. So test variables, test characters. Okay. Fine. We will do something here. Int a is equal to 10. It is a somewhat confusing, you just observe. If I print this a, it is going to print that value. Right. We will print this. Simple, sir. This is anyhow, it is printing that corresponding value 10. So internally JVM is going to do all these activities, that whatever we discussed here. Okay, so JVM has done all these activities. For this a variable, internally 4 bytes of memory, a is 10, and while printing, whatever the value available inside this a, that will be printed. Fine. Now the same thing I am going to apply for a string variable. This is a confusing part. How this is printing, for this somewhat understanding is needed. Name is equal to some name I am going to provide. Okay. Okay, right. So here also it behaves in the same way. Observe here. So the same way it is behaving. Now I'll do one thing. We will create one student object here. I will define a class student. For example, int student ID. Okay. String name, and for this we will have something like this. Source generate constructor. Okay. For now, you don't worry what I am doing. For now, you just have. I will clear your doubt about string, why it is printing like this. Then we will do source. Okay, for now, let us have only this much. Right. So I'll create a student object. Student st is equal to new student. Okay. For this, I will have okay. I'll print st. Okay. So when we are printing st, what it will be printed? Let us see. Observe here. So first 10 value for primitive 10 only stored. For string it is printing that whatever value we have initialized. But for student st, for st you just observe what it is printing. For st it is printing some address. This we are going to call as the address of the object. Okay, address of the object. It is actually not the exact address. It is some toString converted address. Okay, toString representation of a object address. Actually, technically, what we are going to say, this is a toString representation of the address of an object. Okay, so it is printing something like this. So we are speaking that. So this is also okay. As per our discussion, what we understood, for this name variable also 8 bytes of memory is allocated for this, and inside this address of Sidhu is stored. We are seeing address of this object. But instead of address directly, it is printing value here. But in this case, it is printing only what? The object address. Fine. We will do something like this. We will create one more object. Sir, this might be printing because we have not initialized the value. Okay. I'll create one more address for this. This is student 1. And what I'll do here is, okay, if suppose this is getting confused, I'll do some changes here. Just observe here. Okay. For this, okay. If I want you, what is your understanding about the student object means? See, student class. So the student class is containing one variable, that is string, and this is one default constructor, and this is the parameterized constructor. Fine. For this st1, I am going to initialize the value here. Okay. Okay. 1. Okay. ST2, ST3, ST4. Okay. Here I will say not. Here I will say converted. Here I will say Vitra. Okay. And this is ST2, ST4. We will have some concatenation with this, like this is what, which object this is? ST4, correct? ST4 address. So same thing we will do. This is ST3. This is ST2. ST1. Okay. Let me print this. Let's see what is. So this is for primitive and this is for string, and this for ST object you just observe here. For all the 5 reference variables, for all these 5 student reference variable, objects are created, all different objects, right? But the name is same, but this hexa value is different for all the things. Means JVM has allocated 5 memory address for this variable, and in that allocated memory, JVM is storing the address of those corresponding objects. But the question is, sir, here the values are different. Here, okay, Siddhu, Vinod, Mallikarjun, Deepika. But what we are observing here, it is not printing that. But in case of string, if suppose I'll do something like this. So for this name variable, again I am assigning different value. Okay. Here, if suppose I am defining some value, what happened? Okay. Right. So what has happened now? First Siddhu is printing, next time Raj is printing. So the variable is name only. Okay. If suppose I can change this also like this. Name 1 I'll do, and name 1 I am printing. Okay. This is also a reference variable. Observe here. So this case it is printing Raj, and in first case it is printing Siddhu. But sir, here address. So we are talking that string is also going to hold address only in this name or name 1 variable address, but it is printing like this, right? This is why means inside string some representation is available. Observe here. Now I'll change this. I'll write one toString method here. Okay. Just I have written like this. Okay. I'll not print anything here other than this. That's it. Just observe what is the difference. And for this, exactly for this understanding, some more concepts are needed. For now, I'll do. What has happened now? Observe here. Now, whenever I am printing this variable, that string variable, it is printing the value that I have stored inside that, right? Whatever Siddhu, Vinod, Mallikarjun, Deepika, whatever I have stored, this object is also now behaving like this only, right? So I have made you understand that this object actually address only will be stored inside this, but instead of printing address, now whatever value we have stored, that it is printing, right? Now If suppose I am adding one more value to this. Observe here. If suppose I am adding a value in id. Okay. So now the same thing I am going to. Okay, one more constructor with id. I will say int id, then this dot id is equal to id. But in case of this, I'll add for these two objects, I'll add these values, that is 101. Okay, and this is 102. Okay, and 104. That's not 103. Okay. After adding this to this object, again what I'll do, id plus some concatenation. Okay, id plus name only, or okay, we will have some small. Okay. After this, you just observe here. Now, if I am printing this, what has happened? So now you just observe what we have added, that it is printing, means this object is containing like this. So what we understood, okay, from my overall, so the overall takeaway from this reference variables and primitive is, in case of primitive, what happens now? Here it is also for this variable, some memory is allocated, and whatever value we are storing, it will be stored inside this only. But in case of reference variable, not only 4 characters, we can add Sidhu is a Java trainer, correct? Right. So I don't want to edit that. No. This I'll name it as. Okay. So what happened? It is stored. Okay, let me tell you practically here. We know that what is the size of each character inside Java. For every character, JVM is going to allocate 2 bytes of memory. So if suppose 3 characters are there, to store this Raj, we need how much memory size we need? We need 2 into
6 bytes.
3. 6 bytes are needed. So for storing this, how much byte is needed? So this is 5. Space also 1. Space also 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 into 2, that is 46 bytes of memory is needed to store this particular string object. As for the name variable, JVM is going to allocate only 8 bytes of memory. Why he has given 8 bytes means this object can be changed, right? It can be, its size can be varied from 0 bytes to n number of bytes. So that is why only 8 bytes. It is going to be created inside the heap memory, and whenever you want to store into the variable, its address is stored, not the exact value. So this is the main takeaway from this reference and primitive variables, right? Okay. And also different syntaxes we just discussed, I think. Okay, no problem. So what we will do is we will create one more package for this. Okay, variable and new class. I'll say new class, test class. Right. We have seen a different. We have explored the syntax of variable declaration. Okay, fine. I'll do something like this, and I will explore what actually technically what would have to speak on this thing, whatever we are going to see. A is equal to 10. int b is equal to 10, int a comma b comma c. Okay, okay, sorry, c comma d comma c comma e comma d. Okay, then c is equal to e is equal to d is equal to, okay, we will say 30. This I'll make it as 20. Then we will say int a b c d e. Okay, a b c. Okay, see here. Let us follow the same convention. Like b, this we will change it to e. Okay, then f is equal to 40, comma g is equal to 50, h is equal to 60. Okay, right. And all these things you can print from a b c d e f g. अच्छा, so that you can print. You are seeing some source code here. Actually, in my classes, actually, I want your explanation that we will proceed. First, I will say you what A, B, C, D. Okay. So what actually we are doing? Okay, same thing. E, F, G, H also you can print. What is happening? If you look at this code as a programmer, what all? If suppose you want to put this entire instruction in